In its quest to provide an open forum for discussion of controversial issues, this station allows hosts and their guests to express themselves without any significant censorship. You're advised that any views expressed by the hosts or their guests are not necessarily the views of Togi Entertainment or its partners.
Motherhood Incorporated proudly presents Military Mom Talk Radio live on TogiNet.com. Co-hosted by Robin Boyd and Sandra Beck, the owner of Motherhood Incorporated. Military Mom Talk Radio is here with a powerful platform for women to discuss their ideas, issues, and concerns with respect to the military lifestyle. Military Mom Talk Radio encourages you to share your experiences of being a military wife and mother. This show is dedicated to educating your family about the many resources that are available in both the public and private sector, and we'll be sharing helpful information from women all over the world. We'll cover everything military, from helping a family member cope with post-traumatic stress disorder, to navigating government programs dealing with family issues, to the struggles of deployment, along with being a working mother both in and out of the home. This is Military Mom Talk Radio, and here are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Happy New Year! We are here at Military Mom Talk Radio with Robin Boyd, Doris Rivas-Brecky. We've got so many great guests today. We've got Joyce Faulkner, and she is the head of the Military Writers Association of America. We've got a great author coming on today, Kathleen Rodgers, who wrote a great military book. But before we get started, I have a very special 8-year-old boy who is coming on the radio today, and he would like to say something.
I hope we didn't lose him. This is Robin, and hopefully we have our gentleman Max online to be able to give us this message. Oh my gosh, we did. Doris, we're waiting just for a moment to have young Max give us a very special reading. How are you, Doris? Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, Robin. How's the weather back there?
You know, we have had a mild few weeks, which has been wonderful.
That's what I thought I heard on the news.
Yeah. How about you? You must be enjoying the warmth.
Yeah. You know, we've been having 80-degree weather.
Oh, gosh.
Hi, girls. Can you hear me?
Yes. Are you back, Sam?
I am back. With some technical difficulties. I opened the show, didn't hear anything, so thank you for jumping right in.
Of course we did.
I have a 7-year-old boy here named Max Levin, and he's going to say something to the troops, so hold on.
Hi, my name is Max, and I'd like to wish all you troops a Happy New Year. That's all.
That is all.
Aw, wow.
Max,
Yay,
that's
Max.
wonderful.
He whipped that headset out, ran out of the room as fast as you could shake a leg.
Aw.
You know, I have to give Max a real big salute, because he has really, in his own quiet way, just been starting such a philanthropic lifestyle. He really helped out with Toys for Tots this year, didn't he, Sandra?
He did. It's his second year. He is 8 years old, and he has made presentations at his local elementary school. He has invited his friends, and we have gone shopping with donation money. He's raised donation money, and it's a really amazing thing. And he has actually received 2 Commander's Awards from the United States Marine Corps, one when he was 7, one when he was 8. And of course, he's my son, so I can't not be proud of him. I'm proud of both of my kids. But it was a big deal for him because he's very shy. And for him to come on the radio and wish the troops a very happy New Year was a big deal for him. He was so nervous. He was shock white.
Oh, I just think it's adorable. But I just want to really give him a salute, because it is very difficult sometimes for a young person to find that that within them to be able to share and to do for others. So good for Max. I'm very proud of him.
Well, and when you think of the thousands of toys that come through my ranch every year, and the kids don't get any of them, you know, both of my kids, Max and Zach, 5 and 8, there's Legos, and they come through and they're like, Mom, and I'm like, you know what? But you know what? They don't complain. Doris, you were there. You saw how good they were. All the kids were really good.
They were fabulous, fabulous. Troopers.
That is so special. That is so special. Well, it is going to be a very busy year this year, I think. We've got so many things on the horizon, Sandra. Oh, my gosh.
We do. I mean, I think, hooking up with Joyce Faulkner, should love that, for the Military Writers Association of America. I mean, that's so much fun because we get access to all these great writers. And I know we've gotten a lot of requests for great reads, recommended reading lists. We had somebody recommend for military books. And, the great thing about this organization, Rob, is that they bring books from between the Civil War, the Vietnam War, the Korean War, current war writings, and just a whole bunch of great things. So if you really like that genre, we've kind of become the military channel for TogiNet.
Well, I'm so thrilled to know that we are going to be featuring more authors this year. We just really have so many already in our lineup. But how wonderful to start the year off with Military Writers Society of America, because they really do focus on finding such diverse authors, such diverse subject matters, and like you say, covering every encounters that we've had as military stories could go. I mean, I think this is just really exciting. So this is just the beginning of many, many, many more wonderful shows to come.
Well, and the best part of it, Rob, is I didn't even get out of the new year with getting it wrong. I got Joyce's name right. I gave her
all right.
It's Military Writers Society of America.
Yes.
I just make my own association. Last year, 2 years ago, when I busted down that colonel to like a lieutenant. Do you remember that lady where she's I busted her down 15 ranks?
Oh, she was sweet about it, though. I mean, I have to say, because I'm always going to my husband with help so that he can say, all right, now is this level higher or is this lower, or what is this in the Air Force versus in the Marines or in the I just get very confused. Oh gosh, I would be running around if I were enlisted. I'd be running around with this little guidebook all the time. Okay.
Well, and we handle all the branches, Rob, so it does get confusing, and I have a little rank chart, that I pull from to go, okay, where is this person, in the pecking order? Because, by the time you hit all the different armed forces branches, it's very confusing.
It is.
That's my excuse.
Well, one of the things, Sandra, that I'm so glad that we are looking forward to this year is having Doris with us. She's our woman on the street instead of a man on the street. We have a woman on the street, and she brings us all kinds of things from around the country. Doris, we are just so thrilled that you've got something special for us today.
I do, and thank you for letting me share this. Sandra and Robin, 2012 is an election year. And traditionally, election years are filled with even more than our usual share of headline stories. So I think it's safe to say that it's going to be an interesting year for all of us, and we've kind of already alluded to that. That being said, while I was doing some New Year's spiritual reading, I came across this beautiful piece by Sarah Von Bronick in her popular Simple Abundance book. I know a lot of people are familiar with that book. And she talks about this famous Ithaca poem by C.P. Cafferty and how the general public was first exposed to this poem at Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis' funeral, where this poem was read. It was one of her favorite. Anyway, for those of you who don't know about the poem, Ithaca was the beloved home of the famous Greek warrior Odysseus of the Trojan War fame. And Odysseus spent 10 years roaming the world, having adventures and learning life lessons while trying to get home. And that's where the word Odyssey comes from, which means long, exhaustive journey. Anyway, Sarah loved this poem like Jacqueline Kennedy, but she felt the poem was mostly written with men in mind. So she was inspired to write a version for women. And this I would like to share with our audience, because they're military moms, and also with my hope that we all have a great year for our listeners. Anyway, this is Sarah's version of Ithaca. Pray that your journey be long, full of many summer mornings, when with much pleasure and much joy you anchor in harbors never seen before. Browse through Phoenician markets, to purchase exquisite treasures, mother of pearl, ebony, sensual perfumes of all kinds, as much as you desire. Visit many Egyptian cities, content to sit at the feet of sages, eager and open to receive learning. Keep Ithaca always in your mind. Your arrival there is your destiny. But do not hurry the journey at all. Be patient. Better that it lasts for many years, longer than you can imagine, so that finally when you reach this sacred isle, you will be a wise woman, abundantly fulfilled by all you have gained along the way, no longer expecting Ithaca to make you wealthy, no longer needing Ithaca to make you rich. Ithaca offered you the profound journey, the chance to discover the woman you have always been. Without Ithaca as your inspiration, you never would have set out in search of wholeness. And if you should find her poor, Ithaca did not deceive you. Authentic as you have become, full of wisdom, beauty, and grace, enriched and enlightened by all you have experienced, you will finally understand what all of life's Ithacas truly mean. And Sarah concludes with these words: life is a journey, and we are women of spirit, women of substance, women of style. We are seekers of the sacred in the ordinary, seekers of love. Chronologically, the year has ended, and we have begun a new journey. A new year, we are well equipped for the journey. But when we need help, ask for help. Ask for the power to be switched on. Ask to soar higher. Ask to be surprised by joy. Give thanks and never forget that all you have is all you need. Pray your journey is long, and you will see the authentic self is the soul made visible. Godspeed, everyone, and Happy New Year. Back to you, Sandra and Robin.
That was just wonderful. What wonderful words. All you have is all you need.
Yep.
That's almost like Mary Poppins. A feast is as good as how does she word it? Enough is as good as a feast, and we will certainly have so much more to feast on, and so much more to have on the other side of this break with Kathleen Rodgers and Joyce Faulkner, who are both from the Military Writers Society of America. We are looking forward to meeting them both right here on Military Mom Talk Radio right after the break. Stay tuned.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Want to be challenged in a powerful way to leap beyond what you think is possible? Then join us Mondays for the Leah Jensen Show. Every Monday at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com with Leah Jensen. Listen live as life coach Leah uses her coaching skills to give you the tools you need to take action and create momentum. You are encouraged to call in and share your greatest fears, challenges, and obstacles, and then listen as Leah obliterates those barriers to success. For more on Leah and the show, check out her website, LeahJansen.com. That's Leah, LeahJantzen.com. Spend 1 hour with Leah, and you'll be captivated by her energy, enthusiasm, and magnetism. You'll quickly become addicted to her positive attitude and make it happen mentality. Ready for a life-changing, mood-altering show? Then get ready for Leah Jensen and listen live to The Leah Jensen Show every Monday morning at 10 a.m., 9 a.m. Central on TogiNet.com. If you're ready for a big change in your work, your career, your happiness, your life, it's time for the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 2, 1 Central on TogiNet.com. Marla believes that with the right mindset, anything is possible. Join us as successful life coach Marla Tabaka inspires you and her clients to explore, discover, and live your dreams by developing what she calls the $1 Million Mindset. Marla will inspire you to take action on your dreams and reveal secrets to success that will help you realize your own unique power. Tune into the $1 Million Mindset for heartwarming stories with Marla Tabaka. Learn tips and tricks to building a successful business and unlock the secrets to creating a happier, more balanced life through abundant thinking and attraction in power. For more information on the $1 Million Mindset, go to our website, marlatabaka.com. That's MARLATABAKA.com. It's the $1 Million Mindset with Marla Tabaka. Monday afternoons at 2, 1 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and a statue of Liberty started shaking.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com. Covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Doris Rivas Brecky, our resident poet and ex-Army gal, and Robin Boyd. And we have such a great season coming up, you guys. We have paired up with Joyce Faulkner of Military Writers Society of America, and she is helping us bring on great military writers each week. So we're going to feature in each segment a great read, a great writer. Today, our great read is coming from Kathleen Rodgers. And girls, I'm so excited for this because, you know, this is technically our third year on the air. Mm-hmm. And we've done over, what have we done? Over 100 and some odd shows. And our reach is global. We get mail. Robin, can you help me think of the countries? I know we've heard from Ireland, France, Germany, Morocco, Japan.
We have just been so excited to hear from so many people. And if everybody would just like us on Facebook at Military Mom Talk Radio, or even go to our website, militarymomtalkradio.com, and connect with us that way. That's the best way, and we love hearing from everybody. It's just so wonderful.
It is. It's so much fun. But I think we should hop right over to our guests because we got a lot to cover today. I would like to welcome Joyce Faulkner. She is she's a lot of things. She's an author. She's, I'm going to kill the title, The Shadow of Suribachi. Did I get that right?
Perfect.
The Battle of Iwo Jima?
Yeah.
I get Suribachi right, but I can't get Kathleen versus Catherine right. Now, Joyce, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself, because you've got quite a history with writing and fiction and historical fiction, and just give us a quick rundown.
Okay, well, you know, they call me Wheels because I've been around. But essentially, I studied writing early on and then went into become an engineer, and I was an engineer for many years. And over those years, I continued to write, but when I retired, the first thing I wanted to retire and write thrillers, which I have done. But before I did that, I wanted to knock off this little book about my dad. In the Shadow of Suribachi, which happens to be most of his stories that he told me during a time that we used to call it a nervous breakdown. But essentially it was PTSD, we know now. And they gave him shock treatments, which made him, he couldn't stop talking about what had happened to him during the Battle of Iwo Jima. So he died when he was only 50 years old. So that's an enormous gift that he gave me, these stories about his friends. But I wanted to do it as historical fiction so I could be interpretive. So the first thing I did was I did the research, and I started understanding what had happened to him, putting his issues in context with his experiences, and wrote the book. And when it was published, they sent it out to a bunch of places, and one of those places was Military Writers Society of America. And a few months later, they contacted me that I had won the gold medal for historical fiction. Now, as you can imagine, I was thrilled. And
wonderful.
It was wonderful. I went out to San Diego to receive my award, which was where the conference was that year. That was 2006. And met all of these wonderful people, and people who were writing history people who were writing to deal with their own issues from their experiences with war, family members who were writing to deal with their experiences, and I got involved. And before I knew it, I was helping people, I was ghostwriting, I was doing anything but writing thrillers. And I also got involved as secretary of the organization for a short period, and then I was the webmaster for a while. And since 2009, I have been the president. One of the most exciting things that I've had the honor to do is to work with these people. We now have over 1,000 people on our email list, most of whom are writers, and giving them an opportunity to be heard, to use their talents to expand our body of knowledge about war, about how war impacts our families, our civilization, our country. And I've learned a whole lot. I think it's going to be something that continues to grow over the next few years because we just launched our new website. It's still at www.militarywriters.com, but people are moving over, and it's much more empowering where they can post their own material. And we're seeing not only people who are authors, but people who are just beginning their road to write down what they have experienced. So it's very exciting.
How long has Military Writers Society of America been in existence?
My understanding is that it was first put together by Bill McDonald in 2003 and 2004.
Oh, wow.
So it's something. He was a Vietnam veteran, helicopter crew chief, and he was discovering that writing and the arts helped people that he knew as a spiritual leader deal with their issues. But to encourage them to actually do that, there was no niche, and there was no organization in place that could recognize their efforts, that would give them a platform. And so he was able to get it up and running. I believe that 2004 was the first time that there was an awards program.
That's so interesting. Wow.
Well, and your site looks great. You know, you used a Joomla core or something like that. It's hard to tell what, or is it Drupal? But you did a really good job on it. Drupal. It's a Drupal core. I love those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you've got a lot of content on here and a lot of, you guys should really check it out. Those of you listening today are picking up the broadcast from iTunes or TogiNet or Military Mom Talk Radio. It's a really well done site.
Well, thank you. We're very excited about it. We launched it yesterday. So we had other, over the years, other different websites, but we wanted something, as I said, that was empowering so people could come out, members could come out and post when they need to. They each have a blog associated with it. There's forums, and most of the material, we have all of the books posted so that visitors can read the forums, they can read the blogs, and they can also go out and see the work that an individual author or writer has done and purchase their books if they wish. So it's very exciting. And the interesting thing is that we have pretty much all genres represented. We have people who write straight history. We have people who write historical fiction like I do. We have people who do thrillers. We have children's books. We have how-to. We have references. We have memoirs. So there's pretty much something for everybody.
Do you have to be a member in order to participate in the forums?
You do. You can read them, but you do need to be a member to participate, to put in your questions, suggestions.
Yeah.
To become a member, essentially, you need to have a connection to the military in some way and be interested in writing or art or photography. And the dues are $30 a year, so they're pretty much affordable to everyone.
Very.
And, yeah, I mean, it's a pretty amazing opportunity for people who are just beginning their journey to creating this history. We find that, and we would like to encourage people who are dealing with enormous issues, like, for example, how do you deal with deployments? How do you deal with somebody who is struggling with depression? How do you help your family and your children deal with when daddy's been injured or mama's been injured? So it's an amazing opportunity for anybody who's in that position and wants to start writing to join us. We would love for that. Also, if you don't choose to be a member but would like to get our magazine that comes out monthly, it's called Dispatches. You can go online and subscribe to it. It's free. It'll come to you through.
See. And is that a hard copy or is that a virtual magazine?
It's virtual. You can purchase a hard copy at magcloud.com each month if you wish, but it comes as a PDF through email, and it's available on the site as individual articles so that you can use them in social networking to pass them on to friends and that kind of thing.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. And I also am clicking in so that you can see right from the website your blogs. We're going to be going to a break very shortly, Joyce, and we'll talk a little bit more about not only your new website, but I'd like to also go back a little bit to your book before we say hello to Kathleen. We are talking today with Joyce Faulkner. She is currently the president of the Military Writers Society of America. You can find them at www.militarywriters.com, and there's lots at this website. You'll find so many inspirational stories, but you'll also find the link to so many other people who have written some very outstanding testimonials and some very outstanding books that you will all enjoy. We're here today at Military Mom Talk Radio, and we will be back after the break. Stay tuned.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd, and we'll be right back after these.
Thursday nights, get ready for the Read My Lips Tips for Success radio show with your host, Linnea Millette, at 11:10 Central on TogiNet.com. What are the Read My Lips Tips for Success? Well, it's spelled out like this. R, realize it is possible. E, embrace all relationships. A, advance through adversity. D, develop your significance. M, manage your health and wealth. Y, yield to your natural abilities. L, listen to your heart. I, invest in yourself. P, persist by taking small steps. And S, serve others. Each week on the show, you'll find a safe haven whereby tips, insights, and strategies are shared by Linnea and her guests. Go to Linnea's website, readmylipstips.com. Then join us Thursday nights at 10 p.m. Central for the Read My Lips Tips for Success radio show with your host, Linnea Millette, on TogiNet.com. Evermore, people have the means to live, but no meaning to live for. These are the words of Dr. Viktor Frankl, the inspiration for the movie Victor and I. That's VIKTOR and I, movie.com. And Talk Sense Radio, The Meaning Connection, with host Mary Simaluka and frequent contributor Alexander Vesley. Friday afternoons at 2 Central on TogiNet.com. More and more people today are discarding their quest for money, possessions, and things, and are instead beginning a serious quest to find meaning in life. Until now, these discussions were historically in the hands of priests, ministers, and scribes, then to philosophers, psychiatrists, and psychologists. Now, These deep discussions are where they should be, in the hands of individuals, on the air with you. Talk Sense Radio, The Meaning Connection, with your host, Mary Simaluka, and frequent contributor, Alexander Vasley. Friday afternoons at 3, 2 Central, on TogiNet.com.
There ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com, covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hi, military moms. This is Sandra Beck, and I'm here with Doris Rivas-Brecky and Robin Boyd on our New Year's show of 2012, our third year on the air. And we are welcoming Joyce Faulkner and Kathleen Rodgers today. Both of them are authors. Both of them are members of our Military Writers Society of America. I want to encourage you guys to check us out on iTunes. We are available under Military Mom Talk Radio. All of our past shows, we cover everything from PTSD to divorce in the military, deployment issues, grandparents raising kids while their adult children are serving overseas. We've got recipes. Good Lord, Robin, we really cover everything with the military family, don't we?
And then some. We're looking forward to lots more. Wow, we really do.
More. We do. So check us out on our site, militarymomtalkradio.com. We want to thank our host station, TogiNet.com, for 3 wonderful years, and our producers, Sabrina and Carrie Martin. We love Carrie, who's been with us since the beginning, and Sabrina Keel. So that's my general housekeeping. You guys have anything to add before we go back to Joyce?
No, I think we've got lots more to talk to Joyce about before we say hello to Kathleen.
I agree. Joyce, how does somebody get a military book published? It just seems so overwhelming these days. Do they just, do they have to go to agents? Do they go to self-publishing companies like Lulu? Do they publish through military writers? How do they do that?
Well, I tell you, this is one of the things that we do work with our people to help them. There are 3 basic ways for people to publish a book. One is the traditional route, and with the traditional route, the company takes on all of the risk and all the financial burden, and you essentially sell your book and most of your rights to it to them, and then you are paid by a royalty system. That is a per book royalty. So if you sell 100 books, you don't make very much. If you sell 2 million books, you might make a pretty good living. But it's also a way to get materials out there that uses a company with a lot more resources than you would have personally. The second option is what we call a subsidy publisher, and those are places like iUniverse and Author House. And essentially, they share the risk and the financial burden with you, and how much you support or pay for a package is how much you're actually subsidizing the production of your own book. And they share the profits with you in varying different business models. And then the third option available to you is to self-publish, and that means that you go out and you hire someone to design the cover. You go out and you have hire an editor. You have someone to design the book layout, and then you have to find a way to distribute the book. So it's a lot more burdensome. To actually publish a well-done book is many thousands of dollars. So it's the most expensive route to go, but then you get 100% of the profits back once you start selling the book. Now, lately there is a brand new approach, and that is ebooks, and pretty much you can do those for free, and there are a couple of companies, Lulu.com being one of them, Amazon's Create Space Another, where it's free to upload and free to go through the process, and they have templates, but they roll the costs associated with the production into the cost of the book itself, or the price. So a variety of options, a variety of ways to go. Probably right now, traditional is the most difficult because you do need an agent if you're doing fiction at least, and you need to have a lot of understanding of the industry because a given company has expended resources to in a specific channel or a particular topic, and they have all kinds of put investments into that. So if your book fits exactly what they've already invested in, they're likely to take you. But if your book doesn't quite fit, or if you send somebody who does history, a children's book, they're likely to turn you down. So the key is understanding who's doing what and when, and getting your book to the right people there. So contacts are very important, which is why an agent is important.
Interesting.
It really is, yeah. I have to ask you about your book in particular, Joyce. Did you really have to extract information from your dad when you were beginning the seeds to In the Shadow of Suribachi? Did all of this begin and flow, or did you really have to pry things? I know my dad wouldn't tell me just anything. It was very difficult getting information from him.
And most people I talked to have been in that situation. My dad, when I was 10 years old, had a nervous breakdown, and as I said, they gave him shock treatments. So when he came back, he couldn't stop talking, and he kept repeating the same stories over and over again. Now they were out of context, and a lot of them were, as a 10-year-old child, they were very frightening. But as time has gone by, and I was able to research them, and as I said before, put them in some order, it became very meaningful to me, and it was like a gift that he gave me. Because if you think about it, he went into battle with 6 friends. They trained together. They traveled over there together. They had the same leadership, and none of them survived but my dad. So none of these boys survived long enough to have children or families. And I've often felt the burden of being among children that were born from fathers of that family, that battle. And I've actually participated in radio shows and articles with another group of Iwo Jima children called the Sons and Daughters of Iwo Jima because so many died in such a short period of time. So those that survived, we feel very blessed. So if you think about it, my dad's story, the siblings and the parents and the families of those young boys, parents are gone, the siblings are dying, they never had children, they never had wives. So my dad's stories about them are a gift to the world so that we don't forget them. Now, I fictionalized them a little bit to give them context, but the actual stories, the 10 chapters about the battle itself, and how each of these boys left this earth, or what my dad gave to me, or what's remembered about these boys.
Well, and Joyce, Joyce, it's so great that you're able to immortalize these. And that brings up, I'd like to bring on, Joyce, please feel free to stay on the air with us as we bring on Kathleen Rodgers. She wrote a book, The Final Salute, and it made me think of when you were talking about, kind of being haunted by the memory of friends, killed, and Kathleen's book, The Final Salute, talks about a seasoned fighter pilot, Tuck, and his Vietnam vet, but it's set in England. Kathleen, are you with us?
From Texas?
From Texas, coming in from Texas. So when Joyce was talking about, getting the information from her dad, where did you get the information from your book? Can you tell us a little bit about your background?
Oh, I can. I grew up in Clovis, New Mexico, and I married a fighter pilot from Cannon Air Force Base. And so just living with a fighter pilot, being around fighter pilots, that's where I got my material. And my main character in The Final Salute is a guy named Tuck, and it's set at Louisiana and also in the Middle East. And someone said to me, well, you're not a pilot and you're not a guy. And so what I did as a writer, I gave myself permission to become a fighter pilot in my head and write from that viewpoint.
Her book is fabulous, by the way. It is just so emotionally engaging. One of the best authors I know is Kathy.
Well, and this is a award winner. This is a Military Writers Society of America 2009 Silver Medal winner book as well.
Oh, I dedicated my book. Yes, I won the award in 2009, and I was thrilled and went to Orlando to get my award, and I dragged my husband with me. I dedicated the book to Tom, whose ghost first inspired this story, because my husband was haunted. When I married him, he was haunted with so many friends who'd been killed in air mishaps, and when a fighter jet goes in, it goes in fast. And I wanted to help understand what made him tick and all his buddies. And fighter pilots, when they zip up that flight suit every day, they zip up their emotions. And I wanted to get inside and figure out what it was that haunted him. And then once I married him, we lost so many friends in fighters. And it was a way to understand my husband and also to understand so many others and so many friends of mine who lost their husbands. And it helped. It was very cathartic to write my book. And it took me 16 years, and I never gave up.
I was just going to say that took you a long time, that it was such a long time. Kathleen, we'll have a lot more about The Final Salute when we do get back. I want to direct people to your website, which is Kathleen M. Rodgers, and Rodgers is spelled RODGERS.com. And we will find out a lot more about The Final Salute. And I'm glad that you specified the ghost, because at first I thought perhaps this was in memory of somebody, but your husband is alive and well and with you, and so I'm glad that you clarified what the ghost was in your dedication. We're going to be back with Joyce Faulkner and Kathleen Rodgers right after the break here on Military Mom Talk Radio. Be sure to check us out on Facebook and on Twitter, on iTunes, and at militarymomtalkradio.com. We'll be back after the break.
Are you a military mom looking for help in dealing with the system? Keeping the home fires burning? Well, that's what we're here for. It's Military Mom Talk Radio with Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd. And we'll be right back after these.
Fertility. It's an extremely personal subject. Tune in Monday nights at 9, 8 Central for the Fertility Forum with infertility psychotherapist and expert Phyllis Martin on TogiNet.com. This is the show about infertility, gaining support, and information. Phyllis will assist you in navigating the disappointments and decisions that often accompany the difficult journey from diagnosis to conception, pregnancy to parenthood. She is passionate about her work and is an expert in the donor egg field, bringing both her personal and professional experience to all she does. Ms. Martin has extensive experience in helping patients cope with infertility, pregnancy loss, adoption, surrogacy, miscarriage, pregnancy termination, and creative family building. She knows what you're going through, and she's here to help. It's the Fertility Forum with your host, Phyllis Martin, Monday nights at 9, 8 Central, on TogiNet.com. Are you ready to get your woohoo on? From business and branding to babies, best-selling books, and personal breakthroughs? Then it's time to tune in to Woohoo Radio, Love, Life, Business, and the Pursuit of Happiness with your host, Lisa Stedman, Wednesday afternoons at 4 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com. Using her signature blend of inspiration, motivation, and kick-butt action, best-selling author and chief woohoo woman Lisa Steadman wants to help you discover the woohoo that only you can do. Lisa will show you how to create your signature woohoo way of love, life, business, and the pursuit of happiness without losing yourself. If you're tired of a one-size-fits-all approach to career, relationships, and personal growth, get your weekly woohoo on with Lisa and her rock star guests as they reveal their personal stories of bouncing back from boohoo of rock bottom into the woohoo of love, life, business, and the pursuit of happiness. Check out her website, lisastedman.com. Join us for Woohoo Radio, Love, Life, Business, and the Pursuit of Happiness. Wednesday afternoons at 4 p.m. Central on TogiNet.com.
Put a boot in your ass, it's the American way. Hey, Uncle Sam, put your name at the top of his list, and a statue of liberty started shaking.
Welcome back to Military Mom Talk Radio on TogiNet.com. Covering topics to help on the home front with help from those who know how the system works and how to work the system. It's more fun than a sale at the BX. Now let's get back to it. It's Military Mom Talk Radio. Here again are your hosts, Sandra Beck and Robin Boyd.
Hey, military moms, this is Sandra Beck, and I'm wishing y'all a very, very happy, blessed new year. We've got such a great lineup this year with our Military Writers Society of America. We've got a great author on today. We've got Kathleen, now you guys got me all screwed up. Kathleen Rodgers, who's the author of The Final Salute, and that's a 2009 silver medal winner for Military Writers Society of America. It's a great book. It's a great read. It's an easy read, which I like. You know, my old tired eyes, and I try to plow through the books that are sent to us for review at Military Mom Talk Radio, and it's an interesting read. And Kathleen, I just want to comment really quickly before I throw the mic over to Doris and Robin. When you talked about writing, you know, and I've come from a writing background and have a degree in journalism, and I'm always amazed when people say things like they did to you that, like, well, you're not a fighter pilot, you're not a, and I'm like, for crying out loud, you're married to one. You sit across from him. You have to listen to every single one of his boring stories 50 million times while he tells all his friends. You have lived the fighter pilot lifestyle by being married to these guys. I know with my dad, my dad was Navy. I feel like I served after listening to some of these stories. So I'm really proud of you to write this book as a woman from a point of view and to use your amazing imagination and realism, just as I am with all the authors that come on our show that are handpicked because of their great works. And I just wanted to say that in 16 years, man, that's dedication to keep going.
Oh, thank you. I believed in my characters. I believed in my story. And I also, all those ghosts, all those pilots that died, they needed a voice. And I'd already written for Air Force, Army, and Navy Times. I'd written for Family Circle magazine. The first 2 articles I ever sold to Family Circle were military-themed stories. And I knew that if I had to do it, and I wanted it to be authentic, and I wanted it to be real, and my characters, a lot of them are composites. I like to describe my fiction as on one side is all the real stuff, and on the other is the imagination, and I throw it in a pot and I make up a big gumbo. And that's how I like to describe The Final Salute because it's set in Louisiana. But as a writer, it's just writing does not come easy for me, and if I don't have an emotional attachment, it's even harder. So the way I write, I describe it like this. When I sit down to write, every time I sit down, I feel like a blind person sitting down in front of a piano and teaching myself how to play. And that's how I write, and I have to get an emotional charge. And for any writers out there, tension on every page.
Wonderful, yeah. I know that we have... our producer just sent us a note. We have a question for Joyce. Do we have Nancy on the line?
Yes, you do.
Hi, Nancy. Welcome.
Well, thank you. This is for Joyce and Kathy, I think.
Hi, Nancy.
How do you get beyond research to actually do the writing? Because I I got to do more and more and more research, and I just don't write then.
The research, Nancy, can get in the way.
That's interesting. Kathy said the research can get in the way. Is that what I heard?
Yes.
Sometimes the scariest thing is to just sit down and start writing the story, then you plug the research in. And it's scary, but the research can actually become an excuse not to actually write the story. Joyce, what do you think?
And that's exactly what I was going to say too, Kathy, because sometimes because it's scary, you don't write. So if you write it and then sculpt what you write afterwards, the most important thing is to get the emotional impact, as Kathy pointed out, down first, and then come back and put in the results of your research, or go and look up what you need to support what you've just done.
Okay.
Wow. Yeah, Nancy, where are you calling from?
Ohio.
Oh, Ohio. Well, hello, Ohio.
It's snowing here finally.
Oh, gosh. Did you get that snow that's coming across? I think it's heading our way.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey, I want to check in really quick, Rob. You're in New Hampshire. Our caller is from Ohio. Kathleen's from Texas. Joyce, where are you?
Pittsburgh.
I'm sending this to Pittsburgh.
And we got Los Angeles and San Diego and Texas for our show producer. I mean, I just have to note here, technology is so amazing, because where in the world could we bring this many powerful female voices on one show under one roof from all these different locations? That's pretty darn cool.
I think that's awesome. Nancy, that's wonderful to hear from you. Thanks.
Okay, and I do have one more question, then I'll hang up.
Go right ahead. Yes.
Do the people you're interviewing have opinion on published on demand, self-publishing, traditional publishing, et cetera, et cetera?
We'll give that one to Joyce.
Yeah, I'll hang up on this one.
Essentially, what you choose has to do with what your purpose is. If you have literary aspirations, it's probably worth your while, and you plan on a long career, it's probably worth your while to go to the extra lengths and time that it takes to become traditionally published. If you are aiming your work at your family or your business, then it makes more sense to self-publish. And if you're somewhere in between and time is an issue, subsidy makes more sense.
Time. That's my issue.
Great. Are you in the process of writing right now, Nancy?
Yes, I am.
Wonderful.
I'm writing a book.
Is it a military story, or is it another kind of fiction?
It's a nonfiction submarine book.
Ooh. Really?
So are you a member?
I'm acknowledged submarine force family.
Oh, wonderful. Well, Joyce is definitely a resource for you if you're not already a part of the Military Writers Society. I hope that she will be. One of the things that I guess I wanted to ask Kathleen, where you say you took 16 years to publish The Final Salute, was 16 years because you kept adding or finding another character that you wanted to throw into the mix, or was it more that you kept going, you had the core story, but kept going back and tweaking and rewriting and so forth?
Okay. 1992, I started the novel Cold. I thought it was finished in 3 years. It wasn't. Got to a major house in New York. They rejected, but the editor took time to tell me what to do. I started over from scratch.
Wow.
And I kept my characters, most of them, and I spent years trying to teach myself how to write good fiction and good dialogue. And like I said, I'd already been published a lot of nonfiction in national publications, but fiction proved to be a whole different animal. Part of that 16 years, you should know that I sent out queries, right and left. I am the queen of rejection, but I hung in there. I waited. They always say you can get 1,000 no's, but maybe there's one yes. And one day in May of 2008, I got my yes from a small, traditional publisher based in Oceanside, California, Leatherneck Publishing. They have since gone out of business, but
They published me in 2008.
Well, and what a great success story, because one of the things that we talk about on Military Mom Talk Radio is that the only difference between people who are successful and those who are not are the successful ones keep trying. And we look at 16 years for this book to come to light. And what an unbelievable success story.
My sons were relieved. They were 4 and 6 when I started the novel, and they were 20. They're 26 and 24 now, minus 3 years. I can't do math in public. But I'd also like to say my youngest son is a second lieutenant in the Army, and it's so amazing that I live the military lifestyle as a wife, and now I'm a military mom, and it totally changed everything now that I'm an actual military mom.
Wow.
Now, can I ask you what changed? I know we have only a couple minutes to break, but what changed for you, Kathleen?
Okay, as the wife of a fighter pilot, there's so many risks. It's a very dangerous job. People don't sit around and talk about it, but it is. But it was one thing to be the wife. My job, once I had children, my most important job was to take care of my children and protect them and be a mother. And so when my youngest son, he was still in college when he said he wanted to, go into the Army, at first we're like, oh, my God, your dad did it, your grandparents did it, let someone else do it. And he said, I'm 22 years old, this is my decision. And so we said, okay, we'll get behind you. I think as a mother, it's just, he's my son. I have 2 sons. I'm proud. My oldest son's a very gifted, award-winning artist, equally proud of him. It's just different to have a child in the military, especially at a time of war. Now, my son has not deployed yet, but I've met lots of military parents and some Gold Star parents, so I totally understand the risk.
Wow. And Kathleen, we're just at the tail end here. This has just been so fascinating. We want to make sure that everybody stays in touch with you, KathleenMRodgers.com, because you've got another book on the horizon. Did I read correctly? Johnny Kitchen is the name of your new book.
Yeah, it's called Johnny Come Lately, but my protagonist, her name is Johnny Kitchen, and the story's set in Portion, Texas. Again, it's a novel. And I'm about halfway through. And for any writers out there listening, my biggest culprit is self-doubt. And every day when I have to tell myself and get rid of the ugly voices that say I can't do this. So,
well, you're a testament to the positive thinking and keep on trucking attitude, because you have been so successful, and we're so grateful for the time that you've given us. Kathleen Rodgers and Joyce Faulkner, both from Military Writers Society of America. We want you to visit them at military-writers.com. And, of course, you can always find lots of good stuff here at militarymomtalkradio.com, at our Facebook, at our Twitter, and on iTunes. Sandra, Doris, it's been a great first show of the year. I hope everybody comes back for more next week here at Military.
Thanks, Sandra.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Happy New Year. Thank you.
Woohoo.